Hello everybody, welcome back to Victor Morgan Media. For those of you that don't know who we are, we're just two college students living here in the St. Louis area. I'm David Dupuis.
I'm Luke Welsh.
And we just go around and basically cover a lot of collegiate and high school sports in the area. Today we are continuing our tradition of interviewing the Metro East's best and brightest sports stars. Today we have a very special guest. She is a native of the area from Glen Carbon, Illinois. She went to Edwardsville High School and decided to stay right here in Edwardsville for college. She was a standout on the women's basketball team at Edwardsville, shooting nearly 40% from beyond the arc during her junior year, and was a contributing factor for numerous state championship runs. She came to SIUE in 2022, where she continued her sharpshooting ways, going 4 for 6 in a legendary performance on the road against Little Rock during her freshman year, as well as setting an all-time SIUE record for three-pointers made in an OVC tournament game with 5. That's pretty incredible right there. Today she's third on the all-time list for three-pointers made as an SIUE Cougar and holds the all-time SIUE record for free throw percentage in a single season with an incredible 95%. It's only one miss. That's pretty unbelievable. So without further ado, let's welcome Macy Silvey to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming. We know that you have a very busy schedule, so thanks for taking some time to hang out with us.
Of course.
You know, of course, you're a D1 basketball player now. You've been in the game for a while. But I want you to take me back to before all that. Like, what was kind of your aha moment in basketball where you were like, this is what I want to do going forward?
So I grew up in a basketball family. My dad was the coach. I grew up going to like a private Christian school. My dad was the coach for my sisters. I have 2 older sisters, so my dad was the coach there at that school. And I kind of just grew up around it. I think I was probably 3 when I started drilling basketball, or attempting to at least. But my sisters were always really good at the sport, so I think just as, I grew up, I just followed them in their footsteps and realized that, this is something I could be good at. But I think just being around it and having my family members do it just really led to me wanting to pursue that as well.
Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, one of your sisters goes to the SIUE Carbondale?
Yeah, she went there. She graduated 2022, I think, but she left there as all-time leading scorer. So
really,
okay. Yeah. So she was pretty good.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I actually used to go there myself.
Oh, really?
I can confidently say this school's better.
Oh, for sure.
We're only in a room with a bunch of SIUE logos, so have to get that on record.
They call it the Dirty Dale, right?
They do call it the Dirty Dale, yeah, but beautiful basketball facilities.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I digress. So yeah, you obviously from an athletic family, would you say they were your inspirations growing up?
I would say yeah, for sure. Especially my oldest sister. I knew that she was probably my biggest role model growing up. My middle sister was too as well, but I think it was just seeing my oldest sister kind of go through that stage of her life first. She was really my biggest role model. Playing at Edwardsville High School and me knowing that, I was going to go there next, and she was, one of the best players on the team and led them to almost a state championship run. But she was definitely my biggest role model growing up, and then she went into play at SIUE Carbondale, and she was the best player to ever go through there. So it was a big person to follow in their footsteps, but that's just kind of what I've been trying to do my whole life, just follow after her.
Nice. Any sort of friendly rivalry there?
Oh, for sure, especially with like SIUs,
Yeah.
She went to Carbondale, I go to Edwardsville, but it's not even just basketball. Like our teams will play like different sports, and we're always like, we're gonna beat you guys. So it's just still a rivalry, even though she doesn't even go there anymore. But she'll always, be a Saluki.
Well, you go to the better SIU,
oh,
so
sure.
Rest assured. Anyway, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Do you wish that maybe there was an ongoing series for both men's and women's to play Carbondale?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we played them last year, and she was at the game, and we beat them. So it was kind of fun just having that back and forth, with her. And yeah, I was really happy that we beat them. But I wish we did play them every single year. I think that would kind of be a fun in-state rivalry,
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of students that ask why we don't play at the other SIU, and I don't know why it's not more publicized.
You know what else I ask? Why we're in the Ohio Valley Conference and they're in the Missouri Valley Conference.
I don't know how that works.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But anyway, here you are in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess basketball was just kind of always like the thing you wanted to do then, growing up?
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer and softball and basketball as well. I think I played softball and soccer until maybe middle school, so not too old of an age, but I think I just kind of came to the conclusion that basketball was for me, and I think all of my sisters decided that. They also played soccer and softball, so we just kind of all did the same thing and all just found that basketball was our strong suit, so I just kept with that and kept working at it. And I feel like playing 3 sports was hard to really focus on one and really get good at one, so me and my family talked about it, and we all just kind of decided basketball was probably the best possibility I had to play at the next level. So
that's worked out well for you. No, that's crazy. I can't even imagine 3 sports. I mean, I didn't even play one. I mean, no, unless you count biking, but didn't even play one growing up. And Little League in 2010 when I was like 8. But I mean, how do you manage all that? I mean, 3 sports is unbelievable.
We definitely had busy schedules growing up, and my parents obviously had a hectic schedule trying to, take Megan, my one sister, to softball, and Mackenzie to soccer, and me to basketball. So definitely a hectic lifestyle growing up, but somehow we made it work.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also, I like the theme and the first names there.
Oh yeah, all M's. It's definitely confused my family members growing up. Sometimes I get called different names all the time.
Well, my brother's name is Daniel, and of course I'm David, so we kind of have that too. But his brother's name is Ed.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little easier.
Not that much relation.
A little easier to tell them apart.
So I guess we can move on to that college decision for you. What made you? Was it your sister and her going to a rival school that helped you make your decision at all? Was it just you found a home here more so?
Yeah, not necessarily like her going to Carbondale. Obviously when she was there, I was like, maybe I could follow after her footsteps, but it just, it didn't work out that way, and I feel like I really felt my home here. Even though it is in my hometown, growing up, I was never like, I would come to SIUE games and I never thought that this would be where I would end up. But I think it really just broadened my horizons visiting here and just being like, maybe this is a good fit for me. I just, I came on visits, and the coaches, obviously there's been coaching changes, but Coach Sam has stayed the whole time. And I just feel like we have a really great connection on and off the court, and the way she makes all of us feel is just amazing. Like, I've had many friends who's come to this team and have had other coaches who, they're like, Coach Sam is just really, really cares about us as people. And I think that's the best thing. Like, one of her best traits is that she really cares about us as individuals. And, college basketball has become such a business, these days. And I feel like as a coach, she does such a good job as making us feel like humans, we're not just here to play the sport, but also to grow relationships and, make lifelong friends. So
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about this program on both the men's and women's side. It's like you said, people are always moving around. I mean, it's hard to get invested in certain players, and
sure.
I feel like SIUE just fosters that culture of people want to stay here.
Yeah.
Which is, it's really cool. I mean, the hometown hero. I mean, that's one of my favorite themes in sports, and I suppose that's the role that you're filling right now. So, speaking of hometown, though, you said that you came to SIUE. You went to some of the games, but you weren't really feeling it. What was the moment where you were like, "This is where I want to spend 4 years of my career"?
I think, honestly, probably just my first visit here. I came on a visit and I met the coaching staff. I loved them. I was really close with one of the coaches who was here my freshman year. He ended up leaving, but I think just talking to the coaches, and obviously the team has transitioned a lot since when I went on my visit. But I think even the girls who were there then, they really just made me feel welcome. And I don't know, I feel like it just felt like home, even though I am home, you know what I mean? But it's still a 15-minute drive from home, so I try to keep my distance a little. But yeah, I think growing up, it's not that I was ever against SIUE or was ever had any bad thoughts or feelings about it. It was kind of just this is my hometown school. There's no way I'll end up here. But once I really gave it a shot, went on a visit here, I really loved it, and I've never looked back since.
Right. Where else did you visit besides here?
There were just McKendree. I was talking to them a lot. There was just a lot of kind of D2 schools that I was on the phone with. It was kind of like during that COVID time too,
Yeah,
so it's
sure.
kind of just like a lot of it was on the phone. Like I remember talking to Air Force, George Washington. I think I talked to Carbondale like on the phone a little bit, but I didn't really go on many visits. You know, it was kind of like hard time with COVID and everything. But
Air Force. Wow. Did you consider like serving at some point?
no, it was just like that was just one that popped into my head. I remember having
gotcha.
conversations with them.
Okay,
But that was probably like my
interesting.
junior year. I remember, you know, talking to them and just having phone calls with them, but I never went on a visit there or anything, so it never grew to anything more. That was just one of the schools that popped in my head.
It's a
But,
heck of a campus.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh, you've been there?
I have been out to the Springs. Yeah, not on a college visit. I mean, no one's recruited me for the Air Force, but it's a pretty it's a little different than Edwardsville.
Oh, for sure.
I'll say that much. It's
Yeah.
a little different from here.
Yeah, I realized that probably wasn't my path of life, but
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy just how many programs are out there. I mean, like all the you know, like Declan, you know, who came back for the men's team. Winona State University. Never heard of that place prior to reading his bio on the website.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned. I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but you mentioned how the team has changed quite a bit since you first got here.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the biggest change? I guess we can start with like the team itself. Like, what kind of evolutions have you noticed from when you got here in 2022?
I feel like, you know, my freshman year, there was definitely kind of a divide in the team. It was really evident to me, and it was, you know, college athletics was brand new to me, so I feel like I wasn't completely sure of what was going on. I feel like there was just a divide in the team. But as the years, you know, that I've been here, it's progressed. I feel like over the years, we've definitely gotten closer as a team as different and new girls have come in. I just feel like we've evolved to be closer as a team, and I think that really helps on the court. Especially this year, I think I've never been on a team like that we're that close. I feel like I can go right now and have a conversation with anyone, a deep conversation, a serious conversation. I feel like that will really transition to us being good on the court and better than we have been on the court in the past years. You know, but I think just the closeness of the girls, and I feel like this year especially, I feel like all the girls really, really want to be here. In the years past, maybe we haven't had as many people in the gym, but this year, like, you walk by the gym and you will most likely see a couple of our girls at least in the gym getting work in, you know, and I think that really leads to transitioning onto the court, and I think we'll just play better together this year. So.
Yeah. That's good. I looked over at him and laughed because we spent a lot of time in this building, as you well know. Every time we walk by the gym, there is somebody practicing there, and it's, of course, we've been there for some of your practices, and yeah, I couldn't agree more. The chemistry you guys have is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not an easy thing to do, to get people together. Because I'd imagine the team changes quite a bit year to year.
Oh yeah.
I'd imagine it's
transfer
not.
portal and everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's not easy to get a group of people together and get them working.
Yeah,
so
and I
that's
genuinely
awesome.
think everybody on the roster this year, like, we all want to win, you know, and that's why we're all here. We're here to make friendships and, you know, to be a family, but we all really, really want it this year, and I think that's something different that we haven't had in the past, so I'm really excited about that this year.
You mentioned the transfer portal. You know, you have players like Ava who left to go to Eastern, right?
Oh yes, yep.
So you definitely have situations, I'm sure you see it all the time, where people are going to different places after playing, you know, at the college they played at, but what makes it hard from a business perspective? You mentioned that earlier, you know, there's definitely a business side to the game.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to just, you know, not worry about that and just, you know, do what you can do from your perspective?
Yeah, I try to just leave the transfer portal, you know, in our coach's hands, and obviously losing Ava, like, we were really close friends, so losing someone like that obviously hurt, but I just try to leave, like, I know college athletics is becoming kind of a business, but I think at our level, like the mid-major OVC level, I think, you know, especially where I'm at here, I think they do a good job of, you know, not making it a business, but keeping it family-oriented, and I think, obviously, as you get higher in levels, I think more business, transactional, you know, stuff like that happens, but I think here, I just try to leave it in the coach's hands and trust in their, you know, in the sense that they'll bring in good players who value family as well and not want that type of business transactions within the team and the coaches and everything.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, what's it like to stick around through all of the people coming and going? Like, you're a veteran now on the team. You're a leader. How do you want to kind of embrace that? Like, what sort of things do you want to accomplish this year with all the new folks on the team?
Well, one thing, it hurts whenever, like, you know, people I'm close with transfer out, but the thing that I've always kept in mind, you know I was going to go through a lot of transition throughout college, especially with the transfer portal, but my big thing is, like, if they want to be here, they will be here. We don't want anyone on our team who doesn't want to be here, because it ultimately shines on the court, and I feel like everybody can kind of see, you know, that this team doesn't have chemistry, and these girls don't want to be here, and I think, you know, if they want to leave, let them leave. We shouldn't have to beg anyone to be here. So I think, you know, like I said, we have a roster full of girls who want to be here genuinely. We all want to win. So I'm hoping this year, you know, I want to win, like we all do. And I think the chemistry off the court that we have will ultimately lead to that. But I just want to, you know, have a good run this year and go out with a bang and make an OVC tournament run, hopefully win that and go to the NCAA tournament. So I have high expectations for us this year, and I know Coach Sam does too. So I think we'll reach them too. But,
let's go back to back, man.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Yeah, I mean, that, also just the Aboriginal crowd. I mean, First Community Arena, like, there's really just no place like it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the new additions of, like, Eddyville. I think Andrew Gavin has done an amazing job of transforming. And that's another thing, since my freshman year, I've just seen this transition of not only our team, but just the whole athletics, you know, and the Vidal being center. I think it's just become such a great community and a place to be and watch the games, and I think it's drawn more fans in. Not only for the men's team, but we've definitely seen an increase of fans as well. So, yeah.
And we could not have timed our start of coverage of the team any better, because we started last year, and I mean, yeah, it's been fantastic to see all the growth. Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned off the air prior to this, we brought in Cougar Proctor a couple weeks ago. We talked with her, and unbelievable player, great person. I'm sure you've had a lot of interaction with her and you've seen her play. What do you think about, like, what's kind of your impression of not only her, but also, like, I know you mentioned the chemistry, but just what about, like, the level of play that you're seeing in the preseason for everybody?
Yeah, so I played against her my senior year of high school. She was on Alton, and I just remembered, you know, thinking, obviously she's small, but she's a heck of a player. And, you know, as I've gone throughout SIUE, Coach Sam has always mentioned her. She committed pretty early in her recruiting process, so she's always been someone who we've all known about and known that she was going to make a huge, you know, impression on all of us. And I think she's done an amazing job in the preseason. I got to play with her in the summer and the preseason as well. But yeah, she is a heck of a shooter. We have a shooting drill, and she already, like, surpassed the high score of that. We're all like, what? But she can shoot the ball. She can beat you off the dribble. She's a great defender. I think she'll definitely play a huge role in our team this year. But just as a freshman too, again, she's small, but she's a heck of a player. So yeah.
No, we're really pumped to see this team. I mean, just again, practices that we've seen. We're excited. I wish I wasn't graduating in December, because I'm only going to see a few home games, then I'm off to, you know, the real world, I guess. But no, it's great. But speaking of the preseason, though, what does that typically look like for you guys? Because I'm sure a lot of people out there, you know, watching this, and maybe they know kind of what goes on, but to a lot of the world, they see you guys on opening day, and that's all they see. So just take us through the typical preseason day for you.
Yeah, so preseason, right now we're in 8 hours. This is our last 8-hour week. So basically that means 4 hours basketball, 4 hours weightlifting, conditioning, anything like that off the court. So that's where we're at right now. It's not too, you know, hectic of a day for me. I have class once, Tuesday, Thursday, the rest are online. So I could have a light schedule for classes. Most of the other girls, though, are kind of, you know, they have their busy class schedules, which makes it tough on them. But yeah, right now we're just in 8 hours. But next week on Monday, we start 20-hour weeks, which is 10 hours, basketball, 10 hours conditioning, weightlifting. So that's when it really starts to get ramped up. But preseason, I feel like it's just where all the magic happens. We take everything we learned from the summer and take it into preseason. And, our first game isn't too far away. We play SIUE, I think, end of October. So we're just really trying to grow on what we learned every single day and just kind of, make us better as a team and just work on everything that we learned, in the summer and in the preseason. But but next week, I think practices will probably be like 2.5 hours to 3 hours. We typically don't go to 3 hours, but so really getting ramped up next week, but still kind of in that slower stage right now. So trying to take all that in now while I have a little bit more free time. But I'm excited for 20-hour weeks because that's when we know that, things are coming soon. So the season's starting, it's the best time of the year. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually wrote an article about your guys' schedule getting released, and I was like, wow, we're only like a month away.
Yeah,
it's crazy. That's for a month in at this point of the semester.
Exactly.
Unbelievable. Speaking of class schedules, what's your major?
I'm doing marketing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you plan to, I guess that kind of segues into my next question perfectly. What are your plans after graduation? Do you want to continue to pursue basketball, or do you hope to, go into marketing?
I feel like I'm not 100% sure, set in stone on anything. Throughout my college career, I've definitely thought about, maybe pursuing sports marketing, working with professional sports. That was kind of my first big thing when I thought about going into marketing. But the past couple of years, I've thought about medical sales. I've heard a lot about it through networking events, and I've heard that college athletes are really good in that field. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a chat with a girl who does medical sales in St. Louis, and I think I'm going to go shadow her in the springtime and just kind of see if that's something I'd be interested in. But I'm definitely not 100% sure. I might not even do any of those two things. But I'm thinking right now probably medical sales. It's kind of where my head's at right now.
I feel like that's kind of an uncommon.
Yeah, I was going to say medical sales. I can't say I've ever heard of that.
I feel like it's pretty popular.
I mean, we're pretty ensconced in the, computer science, tech.
Terrible.
Oh, we're doing fine. But it's definitely a, computer science majors. We love our jargon. We love our sitting inside all day, and that's why we do interviews. It gets us out of here.
At first, when I got here, I think my sophomore year, I was planning on doing CMIS, and I took a couple coding classes, and I was like, this is not for me. So I was like, let me switch over to the business marketing side, and I've definitely enjoyed it a lot more.
Both of us, you have 3 internships? Yeah. We both have numerous internships in coding. And I tell you, a lot of the time, I'll look at a piece of code and be like, I don't know why I chose this career.
Yeah, that class I was in, she was explaining it, and I was lost on the first day.
Yeah.
The syllabus day, I was like,
It's a lot. It could definitely be a lot.
To be honest, I feel like what we're doing now is kind of change our perspective on what we can do in the future. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing any of this stuff, and now I take photos. I do graphic design here and there. He says I do a good job,
I don't just say it. I mean it.
But yeah, it's something to where you never know where life will take you. So It's always good to.
I'm not trying to stress out too much about my future plans.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. So my friend, Molly Sheehan, she was on the team last year. We're super close, but she was just kind of figuring her life out after graduation. So I'm like, I still have a little bit more time,
Yeah,
But
definitely. Yeah. Also, I saw Sophie Lois got white coated the other day.
I saw that.
Yeah, shout out Sophie Lois, by the way. Thanks for reposting our photo all way back when. If you're watching this, appreciate it. Anyway, that's great. I mean, it's such a weird time. I'm a month away from graduation. He's not a month away from graduation. What am I saying? A semester away.
Yeah.
2 months away.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to think about, their life after college. I mean, it's strange, but I honestly wish I could think like that a little bit more, not stressing out about the future. I mean,
the American way, though. You have to. It's always about getting that job.
And even after I got that job, I'm still stressing out about stuff. It's what do I want to do 10 years down the line?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to hear that you're what you want, or at least you're comfortable with with the way you want to do it and the path that you're on and everything. I guess, yeah, I mean, is there anything that you're like most excited about this year, on or off the court or anything like that?
I would just say playing my senior year, you know, as simple as that, I'm just super excited to get back on the court again. And I actually was out spring and most of summer, I had a stress fracture, so I'm not taking anything for granted this year because, you know, I haven't been able to play very much in the past 4 or 5 months, but I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things, and I'm just excited to get back out on the court and play with my awesome teammates this year and play for Coach Sam. Yeah, and hopefully make a tournament run. So.
Are there any games that you're looking at? Like, do you have a circle on your calendar at all? Yeah. Now you're playing Mizzou, you're playing SIUE. Some pretty notable opponents.
Yeah, I'm excited for Mizzou. I know a couple girls on the team who just transferred in, so I think that'll be exciting. And also Hallie Smith, she lives in Columbia now, and she played on the team last year, and she'll be there. So I'm excited for that game. Obviously Eastern Illinois to play Ava. You know, a lot of us on the team
I
are
didn't
so
even
close
think
with her.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I just now connected those dots.
Yeah.
Actually, when's that game, by the way? I know I wrote an article on
It'll
this.
be after probably December to March. It's
Yeah,
USC
I
play.
think it's our first conference game and our last conference game. She'll be my senior night, so
Wow.
yeah.
That's a story right there. Keep an eye out for that one on the Big Board Media. Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. That is definitely a game that I'm circling on my calendar as well. That'll be great to see. Are there any other players that hit the transfer portal that are?
Bree Wooldridge, she's at
Okay.
Tennessee State,
Gotcha.
so we're also close with her. So that'll be an exciting game to play. You know, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right.
We gotta ask the question that we asked Proctor about, like, what do you like to do? You know, when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
basketball.
Other basketball or stuff that's not basketball. That's
Oh,
right.
okay. I feel like basketball just takes up so much of my time. It's like, what do I like to do? But I like to hang out with my friends. I go home sometimes, and I have a dog at home. Her name's Cora, and that's like my favorite. She's my favorite. But I love to go there and take her on car rides and stuff like that. I also love to go shopping and just stuff like that, and also going on walks. Me and my roommates will go on walks a lot, just kind of around our apartment complex and do that. And also, this year I've really gotten into cooking. So me and my roommates, we all cook like once or twice a week for each other. So we don't really have to do much cooking for ourselves. We just cook for everyone else, and it makes it a lot easier for our schedules for sure. But cooking is definitely something I've gotten into the past year or so.
So what do you normally cook?
We do a lot of bowls, so we use a lot of like brown rice, like cauliflower rice, and then we'll do some type of meat, so like chicken or steak, shrimp, stuff like that, turkey. We do a lot of ground turkey. Just a lot of bowls, like we'll just throw stuff together, like veggies and stuff. But we try to eat really healthy. This summer we were on that healthy grind for sure, but yeah.
We need to get in that.
I was gonna say I was definitely not on that healthy grind.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't in the springtime. I would have sweet treats every night.
Oh man, yeah. Well, when your office serves the most delicious calzones you've ever had in your
wow.
life, it's kind of hard.
It's hard to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you should like publish a recipe book or something,
yeah.
and that would go crazy lately.
Yeah.
That's how you.
We find a lot of recipes on TikTok and Pinterest, so we're always trying to make something new too. But
Nice. Maybe I should re-download TikTok. I kind of go through phases where it's like my friends send me one. I have been told that I have a TikTok-esque sense of humor. I don't know if I agree with it, but
I don't know what that means.
you know what? I really don't either.
I don't think I know what that means either.
I'll have to reach out to the person that told me that like 5 months ago and be like, what does that mean? No, that's awesome though. Yeah, it's good to know that you have time to do other stuff.
Especially in the off season right now, but
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe not next week.
We looked at an arena that you would like to play in one day. Do you have any in mind at all?
Actually, yes. Kansas University, KU. My best friend Elle, we played high school ball together, AAU ball. I kind kind of grew up with her, but she plays there now. She transferred from North Dakota State her junior year. So I definitely I wish I could play there and play against her because I haven't seen her play yet in 4 years, which is crazy because our schedules have never aligned. But definitely, I can't think of what it's called. Do you know what their arena? I don't know. But
you probably know.
yeah,
That is like right where I'm living. I have actually been out to that campus. It is beautiful.
I can't think of what it's called. It's gonna be.
I do know it's rock chalk.
Oh yeah.
I think I asked him the other day what Kansas University's slogan is, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Isn't that about it?
I guess so. I mean, unless you get something.
I think we've pretty much covered everything. Well, yeah, thanks again for stopping by, hanging out with us. Looking forward to seeing what you accomplish this season. Looking forward to a great senior season for you and a great season for the team. And we'll be there for at least a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.